Hey there, we're moving onward in our Chapter 3 lecture videos and into Section 3.3. Now, Section 3.3, we're going to be reinforcing what we've already learned, which is measures of central tendency, i.e. average, and dispersion, i.e. standard deviation and variance, but for grouped data, right? That's data that is grouped together in a table, right? And we're also going to learn it for the weighted mean. I wanted to do the weighted mean first and kind of get it out of the way. So the formula for weighted mean is right here. You multiply your x values times your weights, and you add them all up, and then you divide by the weights, right? So upon this, things like GPA, grade in a class, all that stuff gets calculated. All right, so I have Ashley took 4 courses last semester. She got a 4.0 in her 3-credit stats class, of course, a 3.0 in her 5-credit chemistry class, a 3.5 in her 2-credit fitness class, and a 2.5 in her 4-credit English class. What is her GPA for last semester? All right, so I'm going to pull up my handy-dandy Excel sheets, which I've been working on and saving all along. Always make sure to save a lot, right? And I'm going to click down here, see that little guy? I'm going to insert a new sheet because I've used up all my other ones. This is 3.3 example 1. Okay, so I'm going to type in that data that they gave us. So there's the class, which was statistics. You know what? Hold on, I'm going to type this. I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. So I have the classes right here, right? Statistics, chemistry, English, and fitness. I have the grade. And then I have the credits. And if you know anything about grades and how they're calculated, these are really the weights, right? Grades or classes that have more credits in them are worth more to your GPA. All right, now we want to find the mean. Now the first thing we're going to want to do is find the sum. So I'm going to find the sum right here. Equals sum of the weights, right? That'll be the denominator of my lovely, hold on, right there. If you look back at the formula, boop. On the bottom, you're going to need the sum of the weights. Fabulous. Now on the top, you're going to need the sum of the weights times the x values. Okay. Now, luckily for us, there's actually a function that does that. It's called the sum product. I just wrote it over here. So equals, and you write sum product. See there, it's coming up, parentheses. And now it wants these as an array. So you're going to highlight all your x values. See B2 colon B5, comma, then you highlight all your weights. Close your parentheses, enter. All right, there's your numerator. So if you want to write this out, this is the numerator, this is the denominator. What's happening with this sum product business is the calculator, the computer knows it will multiply 4 times 3 for you, 3 times 5 for you, 2.5 times 4, and so on, and then add them all up. It's summing all the products of those 2 columns, which is exactly what you want. All right, so the mean, which is what we were actually looking for, is equal to that numerator divided by that denominator. And there you go. That is the student's GPA. Better highlight it. GPA for the semester. Done. Cool. I better copy and paste it back in. There we go. That's the GPA for the last semester. Fabulous. All right, now let's move on to Scrabble. So I have the letter tiles here for the game of Scrabble. Isn't it exciting? And I filled in most of them, but I left some of them blank. So there are how many 0-pointed tiles? The answer is 2. They're right down here, those 2. And then there's 2 8-pointed tiles. That's, I believe the J is 8 points and the X is 8 points. And then the Z is 10, and so is the Q. So there's 2 10-pointed tiles. So filling the missing numbers up on the table above. Just did that. Thank you. Those 2 numbers and this number right here. All right, so what is the mean, median, and mode value for a randomly selected tile in this game? Interesting, good to know. All right, I'm going to copy and paste this into a new spreadsheet. So I need a new spreadsheet. I'm going to type it 3.3 example 2. Now, of course, if you're working off a PDF, then you're going to have to type in those values yourself. Sorry. But if you're not working off a PDF, then you can copy and paste like I can. Just cleaning things up a little bit here. Okay. So I'm going to need the mean, the median, and the mode. All right, well, the mode is actually super easy to find, so we'll worry about that in a minute, though. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the sum. So the sum of all these guys right here. Okay. All right, then I want to find, because that's really the sum of the weights, right? These are your weights. So for example, there's 68 one-pointed tiles, there's 7 two-pointed tiles, and so on. All right, then I need the sum product, right? So equals sum product of, and then this array, so you highlight A1 through A12, comma, B2 through B12, close your parentheses, enter. All right, and again, that's denominator. I kind of do this backwards, but that's okay. This is denominator. This is numerator. Okay, so to find the mean, it's equal to that 187 divided by that 100. There you go. So that's the mean number of tiles. The mode is super easy to find. The mode is the tile that occurs the most frequent, which is 1, right? Hold on, let me draw a quick picture for you of these tiles. So if I go to number of tiles, I go to insert bar chart. Oops, not that kind. I want a vertical bar chart. Column chart, there we go. And I grab that, and then I just go change this axis. Select data, horizontal axis. I want to number it 0 through 10. Okay. Cool. So there they are. You can see it, right? Where's the mode? It's this guy right here, right? He's the mode because he happens the most often. Here, I'm going to change the color so you can see. Oops. I'm going to make it, I don't know, I'll do green. There you go. That one's the mode. That's why that guy's showing up green. Okay. Now what about the median? The median, remember, is the halfway point. So you need 50% of the tiles to be lower than you and 50% of the tiles to be higher than you. Well, how many tiles are there altogether, right? So there's 100 tiles. I'm going to put it over here just for the fun of it. Okay, so there's 100 tiles total. So the median has 50 tiles below and 50 tiles above. It's just a little logic. We're doing this kind of in your head, if you will. So where does that have to be? The halfway spot has to be 1. Because what's going to happen is you've got 70 tiles in here and then 30 tiles here. So where did the median have to fall? Well, there's 50 tiles are lower than, you know, say this portion. So you go 50 tiles there, and then these much, and then all of those make 50 tiles more. So the median's in here, right? So it's 1, right? The halfway spot. So it's just a little bit of logic. And the 50th tile has to happen in here. Okay. All right. We're all done with finding the mean, the median, and the mode for that lovely grouped data set. Wasn't that exciting? I want something fun. How about orange? There we go. Oops, and I better highlight those and copy and paste them back into the data set or into the problem. You, of course, will be writing this by hand or whatever. All right, what is the shape of the distribution? Well, let's go back and look at that picture you made, which, of course, would be a good idea to actually copy it and make it anyway. So remember, all I did was I highlighted this data, inserted column, and then I just changed my horizontal axis labels. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste it right back in here. You don't really need a histogram to do this. You can kind of see it, but let me show you why. Okay, so, whoopsie. There we go. All right, so what is the shape of this distribution? It is skewed right, for sure. You can see it in the graph below. And also, oopsie, the mean is much larger than the median. Matter of fact, I'm going to get rid of the title just so you can see it better. Okay, so there you go. And you can see it right here. Look, your mean is 1.87, your median's 1. Remember, when the mean is larger than the median like that, it's going to be skewed right. Right. Cool. All right, now what's the next question? You're playing with Scrabble with a friend. What would you say is the average point value? Well, I would say it's 1. Now, there's 2 ways you could argue this. You could say 1 because that's the most likely tile they would get or grab, or one could select, right? Because it's the mode. Or I would say 1 because 1 is the median. So, right, 50% are below, or here, this by the way. 1 is the median, and the median is a better measure of center when the data is skewed, which this data set is. So there you go. Now the one thing you shouldn't say is 1.87, because 1.87 is a very bad measure. Because this data set is skewed, we just showed that it was skewed with a picture and with looking at the chart right there. So this is skewed, right? Right here, that chart, 1.87 to 1. So if it's skewed, the mean is not a good measure and should not be what you use. So you could say 1 because it's most likely. You could say 1 because it's the median. Those are both good arguments. But you can't say 1.87 because that's not good. Okay, I want to stop here because I don't think I have enough time to do the next problem. So I'll pick up with this grading problem on the next one, which is another weighted mean. So I'll see you then.